Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds.
Missing.
Can you hear me?
Missing. Oh, missing.
Bonk. Welcome to Missing.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim. And this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the missed things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Things storied career and do what we have our master's degree in, our doctorate, we are surgeons in, and that's make it all about us. You know what? I have one thing to say to you right now.
Bring it on.
Others would not have survived this brutal winter. What do you think about that?
I agree. I don't really fully know if you're talking about like the weather winter or Game of Thrones.
Well, listen, let me take that quote.
Okay.
Others would not have survived this brutal winter.
Is this a Housewives reference?
No, I'm going to need you to guess. Give me 3 guesses of who you think said that quote.
Others would not have survived this brutal winter.
Mm-hmm. Who said that?
Miss Piggy.
Guess 1, you're wrong.
Guess 2 is Beyonce.
No.
Okay.
Probably, I feel like you're closer.
Okay, with Miss Piggy.
No, you're closer with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. Gabby Windy.
No. You were so close. Carla Sofia Gascon said that. That's the latest quote from Carla Sofia Gascon. We can talk about it, and we don't need to.
I'm speechless.
Sure.
But I am, I don't know if we've talked about this, but she accidentally took an edible before she went to the Oscars.
That's funny. I missed that. Listen, I'm going to come out here and say, Carla Sofia Gascon, for everything she said, horrible. She said some horrible things. She was having a good time at the Oscars, and I was laughing.
When she fold her hands prayer hand style,
Valerie Cherish.
And she bows to Conan O'Brien at his joke. It is very funny to look back at that shot, realizing that she's high out of her mind. And very us. Someone eviscerates us. And then we just Valerie Cherish, prayer hands to her.
Sure. If I'm high, I'm not reacting that well. So honestly, kind of a good sense of humor and good perspective, after all she's been through. And again, not excusing what she said.
Yeah. No. No.
But imagine showing up to the Oscars and having that good of a time. When you've completely destroyed your film's prospects.
I know, but also that it's a swan song because you're not going to work again.
Yeah.
So it's you got nominated for an Oscar, you're never going to work again. At least in mainstream movies.
Well, again, you know what I think. I think Carla should run for president in the United States next go round. I think she has a good chance.
Sadly, I think you're right.
And with that, we should get into formation on over to Dot Mom Sauce.
Exactly, yes.
AKA Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second. Our famous first segment where we take a person, place, or thing that we are currently super obsessed with.
Yes.
Okay, Tim?
Okay.
Do you have
what
a dog?
I am currently, I can't get enough of, is the employees at the Jennifer Hudson show. And all of their reactions to the celebrities doing that walkout runway song. And I personally think that this is cringe comedy at its finest. There should be a master class. If you could dissect, you could freeze this at any moment and look at someone who wants to end their life.
Okay, where are you going with this one?
It is... No one wants to really be there except for maybe the 15 people at the front or whatever who are leading it. And then there's so many other men, I'm assuming straight men, who are clapping and doing a terrible job of acting like they are enjoying this.
Sure. Yeah. It's not only the talent, but the employees are being held hostage.
The employees, they just signed up for a job. They needed money.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm going to work in daytime. I like daytime. They did not necessarily sign up for being like hype men and women for some of these especially because some of these actors and singers are maybe not necessarily like deserving of these hype walkout songs.
Sure.
You know, it's like the recurring person on whatever latest CBS sitcom is.
Yeah. There's stars both known and not.
And then if you do manage to pry your eyes away, which I rarely do, from the men in the background who are like not, they're doing the Nicole Kidman clap. Where they're not really fully clapping because but they're like trying to act like they're excited and saying whatever they need to say. If you pry your eyes away from those men and then you cut to whoever the person who's walking out, they also are giving the best, usually not the best acting performance of their life, but they also don't want to be there. No one wants to be there.
Listen,
but I want to watch it endlessly.
Listen, it's shocking stuff. You know, these people, they signed up for a job. They didn't necessarily know they needed their SAG card in order to do that job. These are behind the scenes people. And now we're asking them to do TikToks. I mean, it's just the cruelty knows no bounds. That being said, the amount of times I have woken up in the middle of the night, just eyes open, sit up, singing, Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. I don't know who the fuck Aaron Pierre is, but thank God for this walk because I'm not seeing Mufasa.
Yeah.
And B, never heard of Aaron Pierre.
But exactly where I'm like, this, I understand why they're doing it.
Sure.
But I'm getting something completely different out of what their intent. Their intent is like happiness. Joy, maybe, like making people feel good.
Yeah.
My intent is watching the other people around those people and seeing how much this is actually making them want to, you know, quit their job. And that is, to me, there's nothing better in this life than watching people in awkward situations have to overcome. That's what I do every day on the pod with you.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It is art at its finest.
Yeah.
It should be nominated for an Emmy. A Grammy, a Tony, and an Oscar, and it should sweep in all categories.
Absolutely. And Igor, as Gaga said on SNL.
Greg, what is your Dad Mom sauce?
So something is happening on TikTok that I cannot get enough of. And it is that man dancing through the rainy streets, lip syncing to dramatic pop ballads.
Okay, I don't know this, but I should.
I believe it's in Brazil, and I think the guy's name is Boy Marino. I might be butchering it, but this guy is going through the streets, throwing his arms out while it's raining and lip syncing to JoJo's Too Little Too Late.
Oh,
for example, these videos are getting like millions and millions of views. Someone get this guy a Super Bowl halftime show.
A record deal.
Well, I'm not sure how he's singing, but the choreography is on point. I mean, these videos have it all. It's the drama. It's the choreography. It's the wet T-shirt.
Yeah, is his shirt white?
Yeah, well, mostly white, but they're like, it's soaked through to like here. There's so many questions.
Your chest. Okay.
Yeah. So you can sort of see the tits.
Okay.
Yeah. But the way he just like, he looks into the camera, he is reaching through the camera to your soul. The music selections are on point. And also, I'm sorry, the cinematographer doing his videos, this guy should be doing Marvel movies. He would win an Oscar.
It's actually like Denis Villeneuve.
It is. Denis Villeneuve wishes. You have got to see these videos. This guy is incredible. The talent is unmatched.
Yeah.
I cannot stop. I would watch his stuff over and over. It is truly beautiful. I was watching Too Little Too Late yesterday, crying. Tears streaming down my face, crying. It's just, he gives everything, and I can't get enough.
I mean, there's nothing better than pop being performed in Rain. A seminal moment, which we've already talked about in the pod, is when I saw Britney Spears, the Oops, I Did It Again tour, and she ends the concert in Rain. I mean, there's nothing that has imprinted more on my personality, on the way I live my life.
You are so right. Pop being performed in Rain or even stage Rain.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Pussycat Dolls. React.
But okay. I'm sorry, but React was slept on. Everyone,
absolutely.
Everyone, as soon as you're done listening to this pop masterpiece that we're putting on right now.
Anyone who's listening knows they're awake.
Yeah.
They are awake.
Listen to Pussycat Dolls React. Came out in 2020, a few short weeks before COVID hit. And unfortunately, COVID kind of took precedence. Mm-hmm. But you should have been listening to React to get you through.
Yeah, those hard times. It certainly would have helped amp you up. One thing I will say about the videos, I am worried about his feet. He's dancing barefoot. Yeah, through the streets.
Oh, that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, and I am always a little scared that a car is going to run him over, but he has incredible spatial awareness. He always knows where the camera is. It's always swooping around. Totally. I wish. Anyways, I'm obsessed with this guy. It looks like it's about to rain in Los Angeles, so I need to go film a video. So I think now is a great time for us to go on break.
Perfect.
We're back, and it's time for our Miss Thing of the Week.
This is a special one. I teased this all the way back in January, which is that I said that one day we're going to do not just 2 in one episode, but maybe we're going to do 3.
3. And they may or may not be fictional.
They're real to us.
They're very real to us. They're real to all of us.
Our Miss Thing of the Week is
the three frenemies from the White Lotus.
Jacqueline, Lori, and Kate.
Played, of course, by Carrie Coon,
Michelle Monaghan, and Leslie Bibb.
Wait, there's a lot of alliteration in those names. Carrie Coon, Michelle Monaghan, and Leslie
Bibb.
Yeah. Well, she's the odd one out in the group, too.
These women are...
They're icons.
Perfection. Perfectly cast.
Listen, Carrie Coon has been in every HBO show that's ever been made.
Yeah.
And they've all been kind of serious. And I didn't necessarily know she had it in her. I love Carrie Coon. She is on The Leftovers, which, in my opinion, is one of the greatest drama series ever. It is incredible. I was actually listening to the music from The Leftovers earlier.
You would.
Well, I was just like, I remember loving the music.
Is that so depressing or no?
Well, it did make me a little emotional, yeah. It did.
But I went out into the rain.
I wanted to listen to it because every time that music came on in that show, oh my God, instant, just full sobs. Carrie Coon, incredible. Michelle Monaghan has
been in everything.
She's been in everything. She's in every single movie, every single show.
I mean, okay, just to name a few. First season of True Detective. She was also in one of my favorites, Source Code from 2011 with Jake Gyllenhaal. Great, tight thriller.
Yeah, every movie like that she's in.
And then Leslie
Maid
Bibb,
of Honor.
Yes.
She was also recently watched Maxine, which she was in. But anyways, yes, Leslie Bibb.
I mean, popular.
Ryan Murphy's masterpiece, Popular.
Yeah, not talked about enough. She is so fucking good in Popular. It's insane. She was just in Juror Number 2. Great in that movie.
I didn't see that.
Really good.
Okay.
And she has not been utilized properly for so long. I'm so happy that she's getting her due. And also, we just want to say that all 3 of these women are deserving of their own episode. Eventually, they will get their own whenever we get to all 3 of them at separate times.
Yeah.
But right now, there is something special about this unit because there's nothing better on this earth than watching 3 frenemies.
Well, they're kind of femme.
Yes.
Feminine frenemies.
Feminine.
Yeah.
Interact.
There is nothing more satisfying than that. These women are kind of like keeping the White Lotus afloat.
It's the only storyline I'm like I'm enjoying the season, obviously.
I am
but
too,
this is
of
the
course.
story that I am like living for, and like low key would be pretty okay if it was just them.
The thing that's so amazing about these three women, these three friends, is that we are all of them.
Yes. It's also the thing that I love is just the little glances and looks that two of them will give when the third is not looking, of like feeling of just like acknowledging either a crazy statement or like, oh, that was interesting. It is so real and human.
Right. And there's no center of gravity to that group. The fact that there's three of them, the dynamics are constantly shifting.
Yeah.
But what I think is really interesting about the three of them too is that they are old friends who clearly don't know each other very well anymore, who are clinging on to the idea that they're still close friends. And those people in your life that you've had around like for 100 years, because we are over 100 years old, and you like feel like you're still close and you want to still be close with them, but then you have changed so much and so much has gone on in your life that they don't even like know about, and then you get together and you kind of revert to your old habits and your old dynamics, and you think you know so much about them, but like you really only know things like from social media or like from the very short conversations you've had. The scene where they found out that Leslie Bibb was a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
No, she's an independent.
Yes. Right.
So real.
It's also so interesting where it's like, also like in the very first episode, in case people haven't like caught up, so we can like we'll only talk about early stuff just in case, but it's like when she's like crying because it almost seems like the other two have their lives like so much more together than she does. And then the more you learn, you're almost like, wait, does she low-key have her life in like a lot more together than the other two do? It's like, I mean, it's like such an obvious thing, but it's so fun to just watch it all unravel, see all three of them. And then like when you see Leslie Bibb, like at first you think like Leslie Bibb is kind of the one who's like, when she's the one that they're all turning to. And then when she goes to bed and wakes up and sees that they're talking about how she's an independent. Kiss.
My God.
So good. Everyone should be watching The White Lotus. Hello, but like that's the most obvious statement of all time.
Yeah, seriously. I will say like I love this season so far. This season feels a lot more dangerous, and like what I love when we go to these women, because like I will say there's something about this season that almost feels maybe a little lopsided in terms of like the levels of the stories. Like a man is literally there because like he thinks the owner of the hotel killed his father, and he like wants to exact revenge. And like the father of the, like the wealthy family, he's potentially going to go to jail, and he's caught up in this huge scandal. And then they're kind of like on the side, sort of like having dinner and stuff. Like I'm so excited to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
But like, they're kind of the comedic relief this season, where we're not sort of getting it in other places.
Who do you think you are in this season of White Lotus? Because I know who you are.
That is a really ugly question to ask.
Well, you're not prepared for who I'm going to tell you are.
I think I know who you're going to say. I think you're going to say I'm Bobbins Goggins.
No.
No, I know who I am. I'm the man who hangs around the...
You're the like hotel manager or
wants
whatever.
to perform.
Yes, so you. I didn't think you were gonna get there, but I'm so proud of you. But that scene where he's like, maybe I could actually do a performance.
Oh my God.
Is so you don't make me sing. As you start to sing.
It is literally, well, maybe. He's like, no, I couldn't. I'm the boss here. Well, maybe.
And the other thing that makes
who are you? You're not getting out of this question without answering.
Hands down, you're not going to agree, but I am. Oh no, the Australian woman who's constantly trying to take her the guy's phones.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're Amy Lou Wood's front teeth.
Oh, happily.
I
the
actually love
star
her.
of the show.
She is actually, and I said the three
teeth.
women.
The teeth are the star of the show. And so I'm all about that.
I'm really drawn to all of them at every different like point. Of
Yeah.
course, Michelle's character, because she's a famous actress and beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
Leslie Bibb, like there's something about the way that she is like, she's portraying it as like she's like unaffected and above it all, but she really like deeply cares about everyone
so much.
And then Carrie,
she cares
Coon,
what everyone thinks.
Exactly, but she's acting like she's so like carefree and whatever.
And she's also so healthy and like eating beans and doing all the things, but then she has the worst health out of all of them.
And then also Carrie Coon just sort of like drinking her way through the weekend or the week.
Well, yeah. Well, when I was describing how I connect all of them, you sort of just hit the nail on the head. And of course, I'm Leslie Bibb because I'm a Republican and go to church every Sunday.
Oh, I mean, and the amount of times you have bean breath. Too many to count.
From the front and the back.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Greg, it is officially time.
Yeah.
How do you make these three frenemies all about yourself?
It's easy to do. I mean, they are me, I am them.
Wait, I'm fully cutting you off, but I just can't let the pod go without saying that the hummingbird is back.
The hummingbird is back.
I don't think you've seen her yet.
I think
she's back, and I just want the Jennifers just to know that they're out and about.
Is she the same hummingbird or is she new? Do they live every year?
Yeah, you seem to think that they die after like 3 months.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't know. I haven't actually gotten close enough to study their exact design and look.
Sure. So I have seen hummingbirds, but they're going to different parts of the tree behind you, which makes me think they're different, which is like, it's fine. It's fine.
But people also grow and evolve, Greg.
Totally. Yeah. I just don't feel as connected to that hummingbird this year, but we'll see. There's time. It's the beginning of hummingbird season.
I made it about myself. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, you couldn't
So now
help
let's make it right back to you. Okay. Get into it.
Again, I said it before. I think the reason that they're so funny, at least to me, is that like they are so representative of like so many people I know, myself included. I will say, I've learned my lesson over the years when it comes to, talking about friends or having opinions on. Tim keeps pulling. He's expecting me to tell this story as he just continues to stick his tongue out and like twiddle with whatever's on his tongue and pull it out.
I had a hair on my tongue. And
You've been doing that for the last
I couldn't get it, but I finally got it, and so I was trying to low key pull this hair off of my tongue.
There's nothing low key. You waited till you're off camera and then did that as I'm trying to tell a story, I'm willing to say that to your face because I'm a good friend.
Listen, I was aware of what I was doing to you, but I also have the utmost faith in your storytelling abilities and that nothing will distract you from telling a story. So I just knew, I was confident that I was like, he can handle anything. So he will allow me to take this uncomfortable piece of hair off of my tongue.
No, I'm so glad you found that. I hope you found that, certainly. But I do need you to understand that I'm the type of friend that will tell you when you have a hair in your teeth.
You didn't tell me, actually.
Well, I didn't know. It was you're too far away, quite frankly. But had you been closer, I would have known.
The scary thing is it was a really long hair.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, my hair isn't that long right now. So how did it get there? Greg?
Let's not ask too many questions.
Okay.
Anyways, so I've learned my lesson over the years. I like to live by the creed that sort of if I'm going to say something about someone, it would be something that I would be willing to say to their face. Like I have to own up to whatever I say, and I just sort of abide by that. And also try not to take on if people are going through an issue with another one of our friends or whatever, like I try and like remain neutral and not take on. Well, well
I want the Jennifers to. But
and I try not to like take too much of the problem on.
Sure, you just like low key start recording, and then the next time you see that friend, you go, "I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just going to play this right here."
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to have receipts.
Yeah. No, sorry. Keep going.
But that being said, I am not perfect by any means, and especially when it comes to Instagram.
Uh-oh.
Instagram is like City Hall. You know, we are all the judge and the jury, and sometimes the executioner. Yeah, when we are on that app.
Which also could be these three women. Who is who?
Who's who?
We don't know.
We don't know. But that being said, I think like, you know, Instagram is a place of judgment. And they knew, I will say, they knew what they are doing when they added the response bar at the bottom of stories. So, you know, in the past, I have been both on the receiving end and on the offensive when it comes to, you know, forwarding a story with a comment that's meant for someone else to the person that posted. I've done it to others, and others have done it to me. And listen, if you've done it to me, I will laugh it off and I will be nice to you. But trust me, I have not forgotten.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I have to know. Who did you do this to?
Usually, and I think I've learned my lesson now, I will only really like forward if I'm like sort of making fun of something in a story. It's usually of like someone I don't know, like a celebrity or something. So a few years ago, I was on Instagram one day, and actually I saw a story that really, really made me laugh. So I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast, you are familiar with Benny Drama. Benny Drama 7 on Instagram.
Yep.
And all other socials, I believe. So there was...
I did not know there was a 7, but keep going.
Yeah, well, it's like a sequel of sorts. Yeah. But not. But he had posted something that really, really made me laugh. And I really like Benny Drama. I always have.
Hysterical.
I think he is hilarious. So I have a friend who will remain nameless, a gay guy who, you know, for whatever reason, couldn't handle it. Sometimes we don't like to see ourselves online.
Yeah.
But Benny Drama had posted a story that was hilarious to me. So I immediately, I send him, I write up a message. I say, hey, I know we have complex feelings about him, but if this isn't us, and I forward that, I send that message along. Not 2 seconds later, I feel that little vibration.
No.
Only to find that I have a DM from Benny Drama 7. And it says, hey, what are your complex feelings about me?
Wow, what a king. Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. This actually like was not meant for you, but I will say I have a friend right now who is not totally on the Benny Drama board yet, but I was sort of inviting him in and saying like, hey, the water's warm. Something along, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was terrified because Benny Drama, he's hilarious, but I will say he's a menace. And we all know that.
He's got a lot of power.
Totally.
And with great power comes...
great responsibility.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he was so cute about it. Yeah. He was funny about it.
Did he respond to that?
No, he was like, "Oh my God." He like laughed it off, and he was like, that comment was so iconic, so I just needed to know.
Yeah.
But I always felt like so bad because I'm like, I actually love that, and I implicated myself in someone else's drama. Someone else's Benny drama. With Benny drama and someone else's drama. So imagine my surprise. Last year, you and I are going to the queer screening.
Oh, right.
All of a sudden, I'm behind this car. It stops short. Who gets out but Benny Drama 7? All dressed up with a full beat.
People drop the 7, and the 7 is a very important part of it.
It's an essential piece of who he is.
Because I personally, 1 through 6, thumbs down. But 7, the best one.
Yeah, he's like Megan. He gets the upgrades. Mm-hmm. But yeah, imagine I see him get out of the car, full outfit, full beat. Mm-hmm. And at that exact moment, I get a text from you. We're at the premiere of Queer. And I still, to this day, believe that Benny Drama was getting his revenge on me that night. He had the last laugh, and he'll continue to have the last laugh. But I was also so scared. I was like, is he going to know? Like, I'm looking like a garbage, like a garbage bag, not even like a garbage person. I am a garbage person in a garbage bag. Yeah. And he's going to see me, but also start a fight with
Benny
me.
Drama 7 saw you for what you are, a garbage person in a garbage bag.
Well, so that was the last time I'm ever, I was using we language. I'm only using I language and you language from now on. Benny Drama, shout out. Come on to the pod. We love you. And I cannot wait for your show. I've always been a huge fan.
I know. I would say in that story, you are, I'm going to say Leslie Bibb. I'm gonna say you're Leslie Bibb.
Yeah, and I have a hard time accepting the consequences of what I've done.
Yeah.
In this case, vote for Trump and accidentally DM Benny Drama 7.
And you can decide who I am after I tell my story.
Please. I cannot wait. I need to get the heat off of me.
I don't think you need to get any heat off of you, personally.
Sure.
But how I make these 3 frenemies all about myself is I think back to this time where I was in college with one of my what's going on over there?
I was just getting my DC to sort of keep me awake during your story.
Sure, right. No, okay, so I was in college and my best friend Pat was like, it's like Columbus Day weekend coming up. Do you want to go on this like fun little getaway to Mount Washington in New Hampshire and like do a leisurely hike? My friend Taylor, who I hadn't met, but he had always talked about, he's like, he wants to do, it'd be like a fun, like the 3 of us doing like a quick little day trip. And I was like, is this hike going to be hard? Like you said, like Mount Washington, that seems like a huge mountain. And he was like, no, it's like truly, we're just going to like see the foliage. We'll be in and out in one day. And I was like, do I need anything? Like, do I need gear? Do I need anything specific? And he's like, no, truly, we're just going to like wake up. Like, you're going to love Taylor. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So I'm like, great, let's do it. Wake up at 7 a.m.
I just need to know like what time you would have gone to bed the night before to wake up at 7 a.m.
I still probably went to bed at like 3. Yeah.
Right. But you worried the whole time about getting up.
100%.
Well, anyways.
So 7 a.m. we get in the car. I meet Taylor. He's great. And as we're driving, Pat is gunning it to get to New Hampshire. I went to school in Boston, so it's a little bit of a drive. As we're driving, I'm like, this is like, it's early. Like, I know we need to like get on the mountain as soon as possible, but like, we don't need to be gunning it. And he's like, Tim, I'm telling you, like, the quicker we get there, the quicker fun will be had. Immediately, pulled over, speeding ticket. So then, I'm like, okay, well, like, lesson learned, like, we'll go a little bit slower. Not at all. He guns it even harder. 30 minutes later, second speeding ticket. 2 speeding tickets in 30 minutes.
What time of the month was this? Was this like this last day of the month where they're trying to like fill their quota?
It was Columbus Day, so I don't know.
The girls were out. The girls were being the cops.
Yes, exactly. So then Pat's in this like grumpy mood because he's gotten 2 tickets.
Sure.
Understandably so. So he's like, fuck it. Let's just get some breakfast. And I was like, okay, I thought we needed to get on the mountain. But also, I don't want to spend a whole day like climbing up a mountain with like someone who's super grumpy. So, and I also was hungry. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So we get breakfast at this cute little diner. By the time we get onto the mountain, it's like 9 a.m., which is a lot later than we wanted it to be. But we're like slowly like making our way up. And as we get there, I'm like, wow, Pat and Taylor were so right. Like, this is a beautiful hike. leisurely, not too hard. Like I'm like, I don't really need anything. Like we've like all we need in this life is just like pair of lungs, you know, worky legs, each other's.
Yeah, 2 speeding tickets and breakfast in our bellies.
Yeah. And I was like, and we've got like a full water bottle, some granola bars. Like we're good.
Sounds good.
We're heading up. First hour, I'm kind of like, wow, like nothing can get better than this. Second hour, I'm like, okay, this is kind of like, it's not a hard hike, but I'm like, this is long, you know, like second hour.
Yeah.
And it's getting a little bit colder,
quarter of the workday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's getting windier, and I'm in like sweatpants, like a hoodie and a jacket, which I was assured was enough, you know?
Sure.
I'm not in intense hiking boots or anything because this is supposed to be a leisurely hike.
It does seem like you're getting higher in elevation.
We're getting higher. It's a 6,000 foot mountain, which I did not really know about beforehand.
Oh,
highest peak, I believe, in the Northeast. And so I'm like, but I've been assured it's going to be fine, and this is like a touristy thing. Third hour goes by. I'm a little less happy. I'm being like, okay, we're kind of getting out of the trees. Yeah. We're kind of going up a lot. And it doesn't seem like we're getting to the top anytime soon. I'm starting to shiver. And so I'm looking, I was like, guys, should we turn around? I don't want to be like bah humbug, but I'm like, I'm getting really cold, and I feel like, when are we getting to the top? And they're like, don't stop worrying about it. Like, we'll be there. It's worth it. Isn't this beautiful? I'm like, okay, it is beautiful, but like, I'm getting scared. And they're like, trust me, we only have like 30 minutes maybe left. Fourth hour goes by. 4 hours. And at this point, I've had it.
Well, I would have been timing them. I would have said it's a half hour. I would have had that on.
Well, It was one of those things where by the time we got there, I was like, you could see where we were going. So you're like, okay, we're so close.
Yeah.
But it's like winding roads.
The mirage of the
exactly.
end. Yeah, okay.
So, but at a certain point, I was like, I don't even care that I can see the ending. Like, let's turn around because I'm frigid. I'm not having fun. I turn around to say, like, guys, I know we're close, but we should turn around. As I look at them, icicles on their eyelashes. Icicles on their eyelashes.
Mama, a Mr. Freeze behind you.
Yeah. And so here I was thinking I was being like this difficult gay man, like being like, let's turn around, whatever. And I was like, you guys have full icicles on your eyelashes.
Wait, so what's going on with your eyes at this point?
They're not frozen somehow, probably because I've been having my hands over my face the entire time.
Well, you're cold-blooded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reptilian. Anyway, so we get to the top. I take that step, and I'm like, okay, we're finally like here. We've done it. We can turn around. They've assured me it's going to be a quick journey down. And so I'm like, great.
Well, we know how long it took to get up there.
Exactly. But I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a lot less strenuous going down. Mm-hmm. And at that point, we all touch the top, look at it. It's beautiful. And then I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Like we've been here, been there, done that.
Yeah. We got it.
Don't even need a picture.
No, I'm the one who wants a picture at the top. And I was like, we're good. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
To which I'm immediately dragging them back down. And then the other people at the top, because there was other people who were already there who had driven to the top, which I'm not sure if I've already said this, but they're
driven. You're
driven, which is we decided to take the hard route up.
Walking
when there actually is an asphalt road where you can drive just a leisurely, windy way up to the top.
Huh.
So there was people at the top. They see us about to go down, and some of these people are very clearly avid hikers in the correct gear.
Yeah, who had driven to the top? Yeah.
Well, they could have also. I don't know what. I was too delirious to know how anyone had gotten where they were, but I was ready to get the fuck out of there.
Sure.
These people are we're about to go down off the mountain, and they start running, screaming, no, stop. And I was like, what? And they were like, it is way too dangerous. It's way too icy to go back down that way. You have to go the asphalt, just walk down the driven road. And I was like, are you kidding me? I look at the two of them, and I was like, you guys swore that this would be quick. And they're like, yes. I was like, so
breakfast not sounding so good at this point.
Exactly. I mean, also thank God I had breakfast because I didn't realize I was going to be traveling for 72 hours straight.
Oh, sure. You need the fuel.
Yeah,
Much
exactly.
like the cars that went up and down.
Yeah.
They also needed fuel.
So literally, then we to start the long, arduous process back down the mountain.
Uh-huh.
We're going because it is so windy at the top.
Yeah.
I thought that we were going to be below the tree line as quick as possible going the other way. And as we're walking down, at one point, I swear to God, it got so windy that Pat literally almost flew off of the mountain. It was like we were walking and there's no railings on this road. And so I'm like already basically crawling because I have no energy. Pat, meanwhile, is like fully upright.
Yeah.
I start to see him inching closer and closer to the side. There is no railing. And I was like, Pat, of course, it's like screaming in space. No one will hear you scream.
Absolutely not.
I was like, it was so windy, he couldn't hear me. I was like, great, I'm about to see my best friend fly off of this mountain.
No, you got to get the belt and strap him to
I'm also like a tiny wisp of a thing. So it's like, what can I do?
Okay, well, let's cool it.
But thankfully, Taylor is a big burly man, and Pat flew directly into Taylor's body and Taylor stopped him at the last second. I am not kidding you, flying off of the mountain.
And he didn't seem to notice that he was, adrift.
He was, I believe in my memory, he was screaming for his life, but none of us could hear him because it was true. I'm not kidding. He was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like full alien.
Yeah.
And then it took another 6 hours to get down after that. Up in silence, walking down, frigid. And this is my lesson to the Jennifershas out there. I implore you, never trust a straight man.
Never.
They will never lead you. If they tell you to go on a leisurely hike, you're not coming back.
They don't know.
I barely made it out alive.
Oh, God. This is awful. Unless, of course, in that situation, the only straight person I'd be wanting to talk to was a person who was offering me a ride down the hill in their car.
No one was? Yeah.
Oh, of course not. No. That's the country we live in.
I mean, also, there were icicles over multiple parts of all of our bodies at certain points. And,
they thought
we couldn't actually get into the car.
Yeah, they thought you had full shining.
Yeah.
You were under a mountain of snow. Just
oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm so the boy in The Shining with my hair.
Who do you think of the three women I am?
Oh, I would say you're the actress. You're Michelle Monaghan. Yeah, because you found yourself in a place. You were bored, or not bored, but you wanted to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
So this was you at the elderly retirees pool, and you sort of came to and realized this was a bad situation. You were disgusted. You didn't want to be there.
I wanted
around
to be
those people.
As quick as possible. I wanted to be near a hot man who could take me out with his other hot friends.
With his scary Russian friends.
Yes, exactly.
Because you'd rather be with them.
I would.
Of course.
And being in a place that's so hot that they're shooting water guns at me.
Totally. I totally relate to them in that scene because I hate getting wet.
Yeah. And I love it. Put me in a music video and I'll sing and dance. And with that, should we take a break?
Sure. Welcome back. And it's time for Diva Down.
And this is a true definition of a diva down.
That's for sure. Diva Down, of course, is our final segment where we take a person, place, or thing that really needs our advice right now, even though they didn't ask for it. Yep. But we're going to give it to them anyway. And that person this week is Jennifer Hudson getting hit in the face with a basketball.
Okay, synchronization right there.
I mean, Jinx, personal Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Jinx Monsoon.
And I will take that Coke courtside at a basketball game.
Just make it Coke Zero, please.
Listen, well, yeah. Or DP.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Well, that
while
being,
getting DP'd.
courtside.
Which kind of happened to Jennifer Hudson.
Totally. Jennifer Hudson, look, this is pure comedy. I hope you're okay, but this is one of the funniest things that you could do. If there was an award for comedy, you've almost egotted, but here we are. I think you could win that for this performance. As long as your face is okay. I do want to say, I'm just going to hop right into my advice. When she got hit in the face with the ball, of course, she had a look of surprise, and I think she was really shocked. But when that ball came away, I noticed her face was looking really plump and fresh and kind of youthful. So it got me thinking, and I realized,
Of course.
if you're looking for like a cosmetic procedure that's not so invasive and not so incredibly prohibitively expensive, I think you might want to consider sitting courtside at a basketball game.
That is so you to be just looking for different ways to get cosmetic surgery on the cheap.
Well, see, I've seen a lot of cosmetic surgery get done on the cheap. You know, we talked about Instagram,
we live in LA,
judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes.
And some of those people, they didn't need an executioner. They did it themselves. Their doctor did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, some of these procedures are so expensive. And it is. You never know. Like you get something injected, you get something nipped, you get something tucked. You never know how it's going to look. So I think with this, even if you were to pay, for a courtside seat, I think you're going to spend less money and you might get better results. The blood flow to the face.
But you have to be, I believe part of this process is also that you have to be shocked. You can't know that the ball is coming your way.
No, your muscles need to be relaxed. So you can't really, like, if you're in on it with one of the players, you can't let them tell you when to expect that.
Because otherwise you can just do it at your home.
Yeah. Your muscles need to be relaxed. You do need to have that sort of feeling of like, like you're under a little bit. Another alternative, you're looking to get your glasses replaced. You just wear them courtside, and hopefully the ball hits you right in the middle. The glasses break. You get them repaired without even having to go through insurance, because who has optical?
And you have video footage of what happened.
Exactly. Yeah, but as long as
so smart.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, as long as you don't, if you're in on it with one of the players, just make sure that they're, of course, comfortable with committing insurance fraud. But it's just something to think about. Navigating the medical field and also, of course, these procedures. I feel like we saw the results in real time. They were quick and they were good.
And if we look a little bit different next week, it's because we've bought courtside seats at the next Lakers game.
I'm getting season tickets.
Taking
all our
Lakers playing right now? We don't know.
Well, anyways, what's your advice?
My advice is a little bit different. My advice is to the basketball itself.
Oh, okay.
Which is Jennifer Hudson is a national treasure. She is an Oscar winner.
Right.
She deserves respect. She
played Aretha Franklin in the feature, not the Nat Geo show.
Yes.
Our girl
did that. Symphony. She has also already been through enough. She's experienced the type of personal tragedy that no one should ever have gone through, with both her mother and I believe her brother being murdered in Chicago.
Right.
It's like she's been through enough. We don't need to be throwing basketballs at her face.
No.
And I think that this basketball should have known better.
Yeah.
Common was right next to Jennifer, and I'm not wishing harm on Common. I just think that the basketball should have either self-imploded, or gone to someone else. So I think he could have handled it. I think he would have actually worn it like a badge of honor, where we need to protect Jennifer Hudson at all costs so that she can continue to do her daytime talk show that we don't necessarily watch, but we do watch that runway intro, hype man, whatever you want to call it.
Well, exactly. And the basketball should have known better that you never come towards Jennifer Hudson unless, of course, you are going through a hallway surrounded by all of her employees chanting your name against your will. 100%.
And that is actually who should be her next guest, is the basketball. And maybe the straight men in her, who are part of her workforce, will actually be excited for once and hootin' and hollerin'.
There you have it.
There you have it. And obviously we would be remiss. We've already kind of referenced her, but Cynthia, Symphony, we love you.
We love you, girl.
The only thing I have actually seen of the Jennifer Hudson show that's on air is your segment, where you crushed it singing, I believe, What About Love with Jennifer Hudson.
Your fellow Broadway star. You two did it on Broadway. It was so sad to have missed it. I did see you with Heather Headley, I believe.
Yeah.
And with that, follow us
Yes.
at Miss Thing the Pod on TikTok and Instagram. Follow us on YouTube if you don't already. Go leave a comment, a good comment, please. And
5 stars and above.
Go above and beyond what you logistically can do on the podcast platforms. And tell your friends.
Yes. We love you. We will see you next week. And that's it.
And Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. We still need to figure out who that is.
Yeah, we're going to go do that now. Good.
All right.
Bye.
Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zientek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zeins.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zientek on all social media. Bonk.